It is considered one of the most iconic TV episodes of all time. It's episode 5, season 1 of The Sopranos College. Was it?
Well, I think it's probably the weakest episode of the series so far, so I'm a bit surprised when I heard all the, praise and positive reviews for this episode. I don't think it was horrendous, but to me, it probably was the weakest episode so far. It did feel like a filler episode.
I believe the actor that plays Carmela got nominated and won. It was either an Oscar or an Emmy, one of those sort of things, for a performance in this episode. I think it just goes to show how low the bar was for TV.
I could not imagine.
Because it was all movies back in the day. It wasn't TV shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I was to pick an MVP of this episode, it's clearly Tony.
But my problem is it's Tony every episode.
Exactly.
Well, I like Christopher in this episode.
Like, Chris was good, but I mean, we say here, like, you could literally wrap this episode up in about 15 seconds, like, half the time joking. I think you could literally wrap this episode up in about 15 seconds.
What, in terms of a review?
Yeah.
Nah,
Not a recap. A recap, like, you literally could. But anyway, Tony takes Meadow on a trip to Maine to look through some colleges that she could be attending to. And then, out of nowhere, she just asks, "Are you in the mafia?" And then he looks at her in disgust. And he's like, "No! Well, how could you say such a thing? I'm not in the mafia, but I do some illegal gambling," then basically fully admits to that, "Yeah, I'm in the mafia." So, why do you think he admitted to it? Think he just couldn't be arse lying? And that you're like 18, you should fucking know.
Yeah, maybe I just wanted to share a truthful moment with his daughter, like.
Well, that's it. She's like, "Oh, the police are in."
Well, she did say she's not stupid, like, so probably no point digging a bigger hole, like. If she knows, she knows.
Yeah, I almost get the feeling here with Tony. He's just at a point that
doesn't really give a fuck.
No, I get that feeling for Tony. He then finds out about the fact that she was using drugs a few weeks ago. I thought at this point, and you thought as well, that she was going to completely land Christopher in it. That he was the one that supplied the drugs, because you can't get drugs down at Jefferson Avenue, but if you get them off Christopher...
Well, based on Tony's reaction, like, I'm not surprised that she didn't tell him, because he seemed pissed.
Aye, but do you think... But
if he acted a bit calmer, she might have told him. But I think the fact that he was pretty much raging about it meant that she wasn't going to tell him.
Well, I made the fid on it, right?
But maybe by her... You don't know how the guy's going to take it. By her saying,
by her supplying, it's way worse.
By her saying, I don't know, but then maybe Christopher could explain his reasoning. I don't think Tony would buy that. I think Tony would.
Tony should have been like, "You should have came to me, Chris."
Which he should have, like, in the first place. I thought it was dumb.
Adriana, that's a good thing you did that, Chris.
I know. I thought it was retarded when it first happened. It was like, why not just fucking tell her no?
So what do you think Tony would have done to Chris if he found out about that? Do you think he would have killed him?
No, but
kicked it.
Maybe.
But then look at Brendan was doing. Brendan was a bum. I feel like Brendan. We hyped Brendan up here as if he's the Rock.
Tony might have said, "I can see why you did that, Chris, for looking out for my daughter. Thank you," and give him a hug or something.
No, he could. He definitely could have done that. But he's on the phone to his Russian whore, so to speak. She's on about her sister who's got one leg, getting married, and then he just can't be asked. So he basically hangs up, phones Carmela. He's even more depressed in this phone call, and then he noticed this big fat specky bastard, and he went, "Nah, I need to go." Then speeds off after him. Meadow's wondering what the hell he's doing. He's completely flying down the road. Very awkward scenes of him trying to overtake. The camera's shaky. And then it says the college is left. She's like, "Go left." He goes right. And then she's like, "Oh, well, it's all right because the college is 9 miles this way." How could one way lead back to the college anyway? Is it a circle?
I guess it could, like...
Well, I mean, it could be. And then he's like, "Fuck it, we'll just go to the motel." But you can tell he's fuming here.
Yeah.
Because he recognises this guy. And then he phones Christopher. And Christopher's like, "Well, I'm going to have to go outside, Tony, to ring you on the payphone." He's like, "I don't give a fuck if it's ringing, Chrissy."
It's mad, though, that they couldn't, like, use mobiles. They had, like, burner phones. Like, anytime they had to contact each other, they have to fucking...
I know.
To talk about anything, like, dodgy, they have to run out to the nearest payphone. Like, that's a wee bit mad.
And again, with Christopher, it's like, why didn't he just go to a why didn't he just go to a payphone with a roof if he was so concerned about getting wet?
Exactly.
Plus, you're supposed to be a big tough guy. What's fucking rain?
What's that saying? Something about if you want to get wet, you need to get You can't get wet and not...
Drawing? I don't know. I don't know this saying. I don't know.
You can't go swimming and not get wet.
Aye, that's it. And he's swimming with the shorts in this show.
If it's Tony's daughter told him where he got the supply of the heroin from, he might have been swimming with the fishes. To be fair, but
yeah, but he gets Christopher to confirm what's his name, Petroli's identity. Chris says the car belongs to a man by the name of Frederick Peters. So Tony then basically tells Meadow, right, you stay here at the college, like warming party sort of deal. Get lit while I go and investigate. But he's like, stay on the cokes. But didn't specify what coke like. But we get back to Newark, New Jersey. Carmela wakes up. Fat AJ gives her the pishest breakfast known to man. Wasn't it? It was like the pishest poached egg.
Literally a poached egg on its own. No toast, no nothing. Fucking one poached egg on its own.
And he spilt the orange juice all over the fucking plate.
I mean, I wouldn't eat it either.
Told the fuck off. But did he eat the toast? He probably did.
Fat bastard.
He is.
I don't like this kid.
No, I don't like him.
Does he maybe change actor or something?
No, the actor changes a lot, like, but he doesn't really. Have him. There's a point where he shaves his eyebrows and he looks even fucking worse. But anyway, right, we'll get to that, brother. We'll get to that. But Tony shows up at Big Peter's house. He's getting out the hot tub with his wife. The guy like hears like the noise of his dog barking. And then he heads at the front and Tony's driving away. And he's kind of suspicious. And I said at the time, would this not be a shit life to live?
Yeah, always looking over your shoulder, always looking behind you to see if anyone's caught on to your new identity.
Then he starts freaking out. He basically goes around town asking if anyone's been looking at him while he's going about with a pistol, with a silencer, while Tony's like keeps on talking to Chris. Chris is like, I want to do this, Tony. This will get me one step closer to becoming a made man, killing a huge rat. And Tony's like, no, I'll do it. So who do you think Tony should have let Chris do it, or do it himself?
I'd say so. Like, I mean,
I think a bit of backup wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. Maybe just don't want to get Christopher involved. I don't know.
Maybe that's why he didn't, right? And let's just talk about the shittest part of this episode. Carmela and the priest. This is filler.
Yeah, apparently she won awards for this. I don't know. Made no sense to me.
Like, basically what we're getting here is, like, she's fuming at Tony, thinking he's cheated because Dr. Gentleman,
But his doctor happens
cheating.
to be a female. Yeah, but not with the doctor.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh, she's had enough, right? But this is what this character's very hypocritical. It's like, she's finally opening up to the fact that her kids are in this criminal life, but the only problem she's got with it is the fact that Tony's cheating on her, not the fact that they're in the criminal life.
Not morally.
Yeah, so I don't really,
or...
I can't stand the character, and I just felt like this is like what, an hour episode, and it literally felt like 25
and her
minutes.
accent absolutely kills me. Or see her voice, I don't like it.
And I feel like 25 minutes of this episode was literally dedicated to these two, and I just didn't like it whatsoever. They watched a movie, they fell asleep, they did communion, she drank a bit of wine. In my opinion, it fucking sucked.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying why she won an award for it. Anytime that story was going on, I was just thinking, right, what's happening with Tony?
Exactly. But Tony shows up at the guy's work. He found it in a local like newspaper, like the Yellow Pages sort of thing. So he didn't actually ask anyone after. But this guy did follow Tony back after Meadow and Tony returned to the motel. He could have killed her, but he didn't. He could have killed Tony, but he didn't because there was people there. He tries to make out to Tony a wee bit later on that I didn't kill you because I hesitated, but in reality, mate, you would have got caught, right? Tony confronts him. Wire around the neck. So he's seen it coming. It was obviously going to happen. Tony kills him after a wee bit of talking about.
Bit of a struggle. I mean, it kind of seemed like the guy didn't really be struggling that much for his life. I thought for a minute Tony was going to let him live, but nah, he just gets the cable tie or whatever it was and pulls on it tighter and chokes
like,
the guy.
Tony's a big guy, but this guy was also big. There was no
struggle or
like it's not like he fucking pushed him to the ground. Like Tony just like Tony pushed him to the ground, like and started fucking choking him. Tony returns the next day with Meadow. She's like, "Oh, what happened to your hand?" He's like, cut it. He gives like 3 different explanations in 10 seconds.
None of them sound any good.
Yeah, not dodgy at all. Carmela's like, aye. The priest stayed the night. He's like, he's a fag. That's it. He's a fag, damn it. Or else this doesn't make any sense. Then she's like, your therapist called. He's like, I didn't want to tell you she's a woman because of things like this. And then the episode ends. It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean...
yeah, in my opinion, it's by far the weakest. I mean, it is good seeing Tony get his hands dirty and actually kill a guy, and it is like, but in my opinion, it is like, it's such a shit episode, and to be considered one of the greatest episodes at that time and still to this day by people, in my opinion, is very weak.
Yeah,
Like,
it seemed like filler to me. Like
I know people say, oh, it was like the first like proper TV anti-hero, or like, you know, like the person you're supposed to root for killing someone. I get that element, but at the end of the day, he's in a criminal organisation.
what do you think he does?
And he
doesn't bake people fucking cakes.
And he killed a rat.
Yeah. Reds deserve to die.
Compare this to Walter White's first kill, where he's literally, I mean, he's broke bad, but he's still an innocent guy, kinda. No, he's got an innocent soul. He's doing it for the right reasons. When he kills Crazy 8, that is a monumental moment.
No.
Not this.
Yeah.
Not this. Like, I am willing to bet Tony's killed fucking dozens of people.
This is a formality for Tony.
Yeah.
When Walter White kills Crazy 8, like it's life changing.
I don't understand why this got made such a big deal of, but it did. And we have to rate the episode out of 10, guys.
I'm gonna get a 5.
You know what? I'm going to give it a 5. I was going to give it a 4, but Tony drags it up a bit. Like, half the episode was abysmal. Rate the Carmella stuff.
Like a 2 or something.
Rate the Tony stuff. Like a 7.
Aye.
There you go. It's a 5, guys. Till the next episode, I'll try and drag the arse out the theories on this one, but there's only so much you can do.
My issue with it is I feel like I can't imagine a Tony-less Sopranos episode.
Yeah.
Like, whereas I think other shows I could imagine. Sons of Anarchy,
Better Call Saul did a full fucking show, like, so there you go.
Sons of Anarchy, take Jack's out an episode, no big deal. Breaking Bad, I think if Walter didn't appear for an episode, no big deal. I mean, The Walking Dead, I don't really like it, but I mean, Rick's been out in numerous episodes for Killed Rick Gaff. I don't know.
That's when it went to shit, like, that's just shows.
I just don't really see this show working, to be fair, without Tony.
In my opinion, was this not a good time to expand and like show in depth of Junior and his crew and how he's like taking charge?
Yeah, but didn't get nothing.
Like we got nothing apart from Chris answering the phone. That was literally all we got in terms of the mob related stuff apart from Tony.
Yeah, it was basically it's Tony's wife, and Chris answering her phone.
And that was it. We get a big character death, even though not really. Like it's just Tony's.
Big character death. It was a guy that appeared in one episode.
Tony's first kill. So we're giving it a 5 out of 10 until the next episode. I believe it is called Boca. No, Pax Soprano. It's called actually.
Right, episode 6 of season 1. We'll catch you then. But until next time, 5 out of 10.
Peace.